We have read these verses and now the last chapter. We have been coming for a long time. Now just sit down, close your eyes, relax. As you close your eyes, ask yourself, are you effortlessly with yourself? Meaning thereby, are you conscious? Just be conscious, the consciousness, and not necessarily conscious of something. Even if I am speaking, I am not speaking. As you, even though you are listening, you are not listening. Be the consciousness, being yourself is not a job. It's not an effort. Speaking is an effort, as listening is. I have to open my mouth, talk loud and slow. You too also, to listen. Your ears must be in good shape. Whereas to be conscious, no speech is required. No thought is required. No listening is required. No thinking is required. It's being your effortless, natural state. Where nothing begins, nothing ends. Itself is beginningless, endless. You don't have to please the appearance. You don't have to initiate a sound, a speech, a thought, a perception, a sensation of any kind. To be who you are. In fact, long before you will choose to initiate, you are already there. Initiating Beginning something is an effort. Being yourself. Susukham, as Bhagavan will say in Gita. Susukham, absolutely easy. Just being the silence, awareness. Just listen to these statements and see it very clearly. Just being the consciousness, the silence. Nispandam samupasme. There is no throbbing, no sound, no nothing there. There. You don't have to wait for a sound or not wait for a sound. There is no waiting, there is no not waiting, just be. Makes your life absolutely blissful, which no sounds can disturb, no thought can create a ripple, no perception, no sensation can touch it. Like the vast space, ASHTAVAKRA, the vast space, untouched by the blowing breeze, the raging fire, flooding waters. The cascading waterfall or the landslide. Space remains untouched, unaffected. Centering yourself, Chidakas, the space of consciousness. No thoughts can touch it. No memory can overwhelm it. No perception, no sensation. No sound, no touch. Taste or smell, no sight, can never touch it. sense of fulfillment. Being who you are, no more than any need or desire to be something else, to be somebody else, to be other than who you are. Who you are, who we are, what everything is so incomparable. There is nothing better than it, nothing equal to it, nothing lesser than it, nothing better than it. Nothing equal to it. Always in meditation. Say and will continue to say, remind that you are doing it by yourself when you are in your own home. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Whether in your own place, you are traveling, whichever country or continent, healthy or sick, hungry or stomach upset. In every condition, the priority is you must first be yourself. This is not some type of a religious injunction or a spiritual requirement. Make it simple, it's our being. Who you are. Especially today, when we are living in a world, think of it. Just one day, how many unwanted deaths? The terrorist attack in Tunisia, in France, in Pakistan itself, in Kuwait, in the mosque, hundreds of people are dying. For no reason. Don't have to go to another country and continents. If today you are not dying in your house, verbally abused, emotionally destroyed, physically inconvenienced, and this is the atmosphere, listen carefully, this is the atmosphere. Where shall you go for solace? It's all in yourself. The other day there was a visitor, and we were just talking about it. Then there's this thing, anything, a plane can go down, anything can happen anywhere. Then the person says, oh, when you are listening to these things, Vedanta, Upanishad, should you be afraid of death? Talk to somebody else. I was intervened and I say, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that because you are listening to Vedanta, therefore you should die. What the person doesn't want is inappropriate, unwanted, avoidable death, meaningless death. Die we must. What is the idea of being hit by a bullet? What is the idea of somebody killing, unnecessary accident or some type of road rage? It's totally meaningless. Because life is meant, something means much more than that. What the person must be aware of himself. That is why when you get this knowledge, please listen carefully. It's not what you get, how you live your life. That is very important. It's not what you get, but how you live your life that makes it so glorious. It so happened, there was just I tell you a simple observation, a story. It so happened, there was a Sufi saint. He had a disciple, call it Sufi saint, and he said, doesn't matter, just know the human situation. So this gentleman, when he was walking down, some people did not like him. So what they did, they started to torture him on the road. They took away his belongings and they hit him up, they pushed him around. In all these things, the person was always happy, sort of laughing and smiling. Never he was miserable. But these fellows, they wanted to, the non-believers, they wanted to tease him, and they said, where is your guru? Where is your teacher? Yeah. Where is your teacher? Let him come. Let there be a miracle. Let him save you. He said, my teacher doesn't need to come here to save me. He has given me something because of which I am always in the heavens. Just listen carefully. My God did not come here every time appear to prove you that He is there. You understand this stupidity? See the wisdom. He said, it doesn't have to be there. I am always, He has given me something because of which I am always in the heavens. I don't have to invoke God to prove it to you. I don't have to invoke my teacher or the teaching to prove it to you. I am always in the heavens. He said, how can you be in the heavens? You are tortured, tormented, thrown out. He said, how do you know how much happy I am, how much relaxed I am, how free I am within myself? In every condition, whatever you do, you cannot touch who I am, where I am. What you are touching is what I have, not who I am. These persons will never understand that. Will they ever understand that? Think of it. Will the person ever understand that in whatever shape, whatever happens in life, always I am with myself. Every moment I am with myself. And there is a nice poem on that. I wrote it down for your sake so that you can listen to it. Remember it if you can. You can't remember, but if you can take it down later on. It's a very beautiful poem. I loved it, so I thought I should write it. Because every moment in life, it should be like this. The person who understands this reality, always happy with himself, has no complaint. They deem it crime to flee from destiny. They consider it is a crime to flee from destiny. They don't want to avoid whatever comes. There is no struggle to avoid whatever comes. Listen carefully. As they say in Sanskrit, agate swagatam kuryat, gachantam na nivarayat. Agate swagatam kuryat. Whatever comes in life, agate swagatam kuryat. Whatever comes in life, welcome. Even if you don't say welcome, it has already reached you. Saying welcome is your sanity. If you don't say also, it has reached you. But you counteract it. Because agate swagatam kuryat. Whatever comes, I accept it. Gachantam na nivarayet. When it is going away, don't prevent it from going away. Something has come to your life, it has to come to an end. Gachantam na nivarayet. Because as when it is coming, it has started going. You understand that principle? As when the summer is coming, the summer is also receding. As when the flood is coming, the flood is receding. As when you are being alive, you are dying. Are you getting that point, please? That is why in absolute wisdom, there is no resistance, there is no prevention also. Nothing. That is why Shankara so beautifully says in Vivek Chudamani, what is titiksha? That is sa titiksha nigadyate. That is whenever that sahanam sarvadukharam apratikara purvakam. See the language. Sahanam sarva dukkhana. Dukkha includes there also sukha. Because usually people don't understand the language. If we tell you must tolerate your pain, you must face your adversities, you can understand. If I say you must face your happiness, will you understand? That language is not there, but they understand. When you say sahanam sarva dukkhana, the dukkha includes sukha also. Sahanam sarva dukkha as well as the sukha. Why that language dukkha is told me? People are familiar with the more dukkha than sukha. You have to tolerate unhappiness, you have to tolerate so-called comforts. Both. Tolerate means face it, live with it. Sahanam sarva dukkhana, language. Apratikara purvakam. Without taking recourse to any remedy. Not trying to avoid. Can you do it? That is absolute wisdom. A disease comes. I don't want to cure it. As an experiment. Don't go it until it kills you. But first hunger comes. One day if you don't eat, anybody has been dropped dead. Listen carefully, it's not a joke. Have you done it? You have indulged in overeating. Have you tried fasting? If you have not fasted, you have no right to indulge. That is why in Shiva, the beautiful image comes in our tradition, erotic, ascetic. Because he is great in asceticism, that is why he is great in eroticism. Only an ascetic can be erotic. Eroticism as its highest, asceticism as its highest. Only if you are prepared to deny, you can indulge. You can really enjoy if you are prepared not to enjoy. Are you getting the point? But if you are prepared not, if you are not prepared to suffer, you cannot enjoy. Understand that point? Because anything that comes will go. Are you ready for its denial, its absence? Yes, I am ready for its absence. Enjoy the presence. So the wisdom, apratikara purvakam, sahanam sarvadukha. People can't take a little insult, one critical word, one little criticism, one little cold, little hunger, little poverty, little inconvenience. Do you know the taste of it is what? Because you are ultimately absolute, all the time happiness with yourself. Therefore, nobody can touch you. So, the deem it is a crime to flee from destiny. There is no attempt to resist anything, either from its coming or from its going. Destiny to them brings only sweetness. Whatever the destiny brings, meaning whatever unfolds in life, how beautiful. Whatever unfolds in life is total sweetness. Why? Because I am the sweetness. You are getting that? Nothing can bring, I don't know how to talk it, I hope you understand. Nothing can spoil it. It's like nothing can spoil the party. Space, who can spoil? Please tell me, who can spoil the space? There is no space pollution. Whether there is a huge cyclone blowing away, huge fire raging, massive flood inundating, huge avalanche, landslide, the space remains unaffected. To be yourself is to be like that, where no role, no thought, no perception, no sensation, no indulgence, no denial, no poverty, no prosperity. Nothing can ever touch. Whatever life brings, prasadam, prasade sarvadukhanam hanirasya upajayate. Everything is prasada. Prasada buddhi, this is prasada buddhi. Whatever comes in life, fantastic. Who can touch it? So when the people are trying to torment the disciple, he does not invoke the, oh God, where are you at this moment of adversity? That is all pathetic emotions. Just to tease some people that, so if we come, see, he's a great devotee because he prayed, God came. So if God doesn't come, God doesn't exist, right? I mean, it's a silly nonsense. If you really understand what the God is, at no time you can define it. At no time you can say, he is so cruel, he is not cruel. If you understand what it is, whatever he or she or it is sending, that's fantastic. Why? Because I am fantastic. That is the wisdom. Realization of God is not God appearing before you. Realization of God is you being the God. God alone is existing. Not is appearing with 4 hands, 5 legs, 20 heads, 300 tongues and all that stuff. Okay, if you are like that and God also is pleased with you, you can appear like that. Oh, that's your game, no problem. But don't say everybody should see like that. Or just because you think Sarvata Panipadam or that Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagat Abhyakta Murtina, by my unmanifest form the whole universe is pervaded. So by chance somebody talks about a form, don't talk about form. No. Everything is fine. Why? You are the sweetness, you are the divine, you are the absolute. Every moment so. And no time life can teach you, nor a situation can affect you. Ask yourself the question. For destiny to them brings only sweetness. Welcome is all that ever can befall them. Welcome is all that ever can befall them. Anything that befall them, anything that comes in their way is always welcome. Nothing is resisted. Think, friends. Think, please think. You resist after something comes or before it comes? Only after something comes you are resisting. Is it not stupidity? It's already come, no? Prevent, yes. And how do you prevent? Listen carefully. How do you prevent? You don't prevent a disease, you maintain the health. Disease doesn't come, are you getting that point? Disease, Ishvara. You don't prevent a disease, you only maintain the health. Do you understand that? If you understand the principle, extend it to the absolute. You don't prevent unhappiness, you are the happiness. Because unhappiness, discomfort, those are various situations, depends on you. Are you getting that point, please? A situation is not happy or unhappy. Money, good or bad. Listen. Youth, good or bad. Marriage, good or bad. Money, good or bad. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, experiencing, good or bad. Memories, good or bad. So in the very beginning itself, you are yourself, the happiness, the absolute. Now who can touch it? Whatever the unknown brings is fine. That is why as human beings, listen carefully, that is why this religious, this beautiful tradition of Upanishads, you don't have to help somebody. Please don't destroy somebody. You don't have to give a comfort to somebody, but for God's sake, don't give discomfort to anybody. You don't have to give happiness to somebody, don't give unhappiness to anybody. Imagine what is happening yesterday when you saw those 3 incidents. It's so disastrous. Nature overtakes, okay, you can understand, natural disaster, you can understand. A cloud burst, one typhoon, one tornado, earthquake, heavy flood, something like that comes in, people die, you can understand. Say, one man killing another man. Why? Because I don't like your face. I don't like your God. I don't like your religion. And especially religious people, those who are holier than others, they call everything is a sin. What is that sin? That you are enjoying too much. Are you getting that point, please? What is the concept of a sin for an ordinary person? If they see other person is enjoying too much, that makes them intolerable. Because they can't. So happiness brings, invokes tremendous jealousy and insecurity. Somebody else's happiness invokes tremendous insecurity in them. If you say, I am free, how can you say you are free? Because he is bound. You understand how deep this thing goes. Whatever comes in life, I accept. Who is the person who understands everything, whatever befalls them, welcome. For beautiful language. For where it fire, it turns living waters. For where it fire, even if the fire has to come, because of his attitude, his wisdom, it turns to living waters. Like, what is that lady's name? Mirabai. Mirabai, he said, Rana ne bheja, bees ki pyala, that her husband or the king sent her the cup of poison that turns Amrit. A beautiful symbol. Life sends you poison, you turn it to Amrit. Why? Because you are Amrit. This is why I am calling you your meditation, your being with yourself. You be with yourself and see whether anything can touch you, because you are not there to be touched. And in case anything is touching you, you are still not yourself. If anything is touching you, you are available to be touched, tortured, affected, tormented, then you are not yourself. Space cannot be affected. Mr. Space can be hit, but space cannot be hit. Embodied space can be hit. If you say car space, you hit the car, so car is gone. Car space is gone. If you say car, then you say car space. But suppose there is no car, what space? Disembodied space can never be touched. Disembodied you, absolute to understand your nature, who you are. How can it be affected? So the raging fire turns to cool water, and poison melts the sugar on their lips, and the poison melts to sugar on their lips. You drink poison, it becomes sweet because it touched his lips. Think of it. If your life is touched by immortality, mortality cannot touch you anymore. When you are immortal, the absolute. It is not enough. Think. Mahadeva is so beautiful. It's not enough. You see the stillness of water. Can you see the stillness of water in the rising waves? Water is still. But can you see that stillness of water in the rising waves? It's not enough to enjoy the silence, but can you enjoy the silence in and through the sound? It's just not enough to see immortality. Can you see the touch of immortality in and through the changing, dying, perishable, mortal universe? Then only it becomes beautiful. Then you have nothing to complain. The Maya, the trade, wow, wonderful. The Maya, the trade, Maya, the murder, the Maya, the trade is a lustrous diamond. They walk on the mud. You are making them to walk on the mud. For them, they turn to lustrous diamond, shining, precious diamond. Why? They are diamonds. Simple example other day I had given you. 1,000 rupee note, you crumple, you throw it in the mud or water anywhere, 1,000 rupee. Do whatever you like. It's 1,000 rupee note. That is the beauty of this wisdom. Where every apparent curse becomes a blessing. In fact, there is nothing called a curse. There is nobody called a curse. Don't say, this fellow is a curse, that fellow is evil, that fellow is a devil, this fellow is God, divine. Hey. Don't classify. There is only one unclassified classification. Divinity, one and all. There is nothing other than it. The person who doesn't see it, he is tormented, he is affected by limitation, so he thinks he can inflict pain on others. He doesn't understand it. Very, very beautiful. Again the same one nice, interesting anecdote, and just a beautiful observation. Like a child, think of it, like a child. Very beautiful. He says, Sufi sense, Rumi has a small poem somewhere. Very beautiful. It has come. He says, like the traditions are all full of it, but it's nice to see it everywhere. Whoever has told it doesn't matter. He said, look at a child. Go back. Win back. Go back. Before the child comes, It was like a, fetus in the womb of the mother. Before that, it was just a sperm and the egg. Now when the sperm met the egg and become like a baby, what happens? It was living with the blood from inside. Little food from inside, mother's thing, comes out, eats food, grows up, looks at all these things, creation, he looks at it. Now, imagine, you go to the womb and talk to the child, one who is yet to come. When he grows up, he will come and see this vast world, see this universe, galaxies, everything he shall see. So you go, before he comes, he is in the womb, somehow it's an imagination. You go there and have a conversation with that little boy, child. There is a beautiful world. Stars, galaxies, Milky Ways, vast mountains, huge deserts, oceans, darkness and lights. What the child, what did that baby in the womb shall say? Why are you telling all these things to me? Are you hallucinating? This is a beautiful world. I am so comfortable crawling, folded up in my, in here. This is beautiful. Why are you hallucinating? Why? With his experience, listen carefully, his experience is the limited womb. He is yet to be born and see the vastness of the universe. The man in the womb of ignorance, will he understand the language that we are talking? Absolute happiness, joy all over. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihina, yasya brahmani ramade chittam nandati 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 eva, sarvata pani padam tad sarvata ukshishiro mukham, all over his hands, all over his legs. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat abhyaktamurtina, by me everything is pervaded. Naivatasya krutena arthana krutena agaschana, there is nothing to do or there is nothing not to do. Kimahagam sadhuna etagam bhavavana tapati, it doesn't torture him, torment him at all. Kimahagam sadhuna karavam, what is the good thing I did? Kimaham papam karmaviti, what is that bad I did not do? Did or did not commit or did not commit. Etagam bhavavana tapati, it doesn't affect him at all, there is no repentance, no guilt, no nothing. Who will understand this language? The one who is crawled up in ignorance. What shall I say? Are you hallucinating? Even that person also has a chance. Why? Because he is in the womb of ignorance. When he appreciates it, when he wakes up, he shall see the same thing with himself. That is why ask yourself, as long as you are complaining about anger, hatred, jealousy, pain, misery, suffocation, disaster, limitation, you are in your little world of ignorance. If somebody talks about happiness, you will say it's impractical. In a practical world, tell me something. The practical world means what? Suffering, pain, misery, conflict, right? Happiness, joy, absolute freedom. Impractical, it's never possible. How many people have become like that? Don't say how many. Because you are not like that, you think nobody else is like that. When somebody asks a question, how many people are wise? That means what? I am not wise, therefore nobody else is wise. Not that how many people you have not seen as wise. How are you going to find out what is wisdom? Understand that very clearly, friends. You have to see it for yourself. And when you see it, whatever comes is a blessing. The Maya, the trade, is lustrous diamond. You are walking on the mud, it is pure diamond. And the wheel and woe alike, whatever comes, they and their kingdom lie in God's divine existence, in divine, divine rest. In God there is rest. We'll undo whatever the pleasure and pain that comes in life, ultimately, both are fine. It makes no difference. Whatever comes, they and their kingdom lie in God's divine nest. Whatever comes in life, God's divine nest means what? Here the language of devotion talked about. Because this is the self, the absolute. There is nothing other than that. Everything is beautiful. So ask yourself the question, when you are at any time, midday, midnight, afternoon, morning, youth, old age, healthy, unhealthy, every condition of life. Where are you functioning from? Ignorant person functions from a tormented self, a very tortured, limited existence. I am miserable. It's like a poor man, uneducated, or educated person, arrogant. They all pick up one little role in life, and that is how they function. It's like, just relatively, we take an example. In an office, a peon will behave like a peon. Managing director behaves like a managing director. Arrogant and all that. And the mid-level management, their own level. Each one is their own style of function. You shall never ever come across in an official setup that everybody is aware of himself and I happen to be managing director, I happen to be a clerk. It's not like that. Like in a family also. I happen to be a husband, I happen to be a wife, I happen to be a father, I happen to be a child. That awareness doesn't exist anywhere in this world. Why? Because in your own little family inside, you have 1,000 roles. Whenever you are with one role, other roles are waiting to invade. You don't understand yourself who you are. Since there is no balance in your own life, in your own being, you cannot create a balance anywhere else in the world. Are you getting that point, please? It's very simple. Dominantly, the people say, I am a wife, or I am a husband, or I am a mother, I am a child, I am a rich or I am poor. One idea, they get stuck on that. Like a religious person can be very dangerous. I am a religious man. Just like a secular person, I am a rich man, this man says, I am a holy man. The rest are unholy. Disastrous. Who you are is not a role. And that is why your happiness nobody can take away. So the disciple is pulled, pushed, tortured, things are looted, taken away. What he says? When they say, where is your teacher? Let there be a miracle. This is the miracle. That even when you are trying to create a hell for me, I am in the heavens. Will the people ever understand that? Since he says, I am in the heavens, they will try to create a greater hell, more physical inconvenience, try to take away more things, try to do everything. But can anybody touch him? Cannot. Because the person is aware of himself. There is nothing other than it. If this you understand, chapter 20 is understood. Thereafter, everything understand. Because this is a, listen please, in this there is nothing to explain. The central thing is, the central position is just being yourself. Thereafter, nothing else matters. What is that nothing else? Why 20 verses? You can make 20 million verses. Are you getting that point? You don't need to have 20 verses. You can have 20 million verses. What all, listen, what all things it is not. Think. What all things it is not. What is the list? Huh? Oh, Swamiji, that is is what the beauty of the truth is. Don't be pompous. What it is not. This is it. What is this? Flower. What flower? Hibiscus. What hibiscus? Red hibiscus. Okay? It is a red hibiscus. What all it is not? Infinity. So what is so greatness about the truth? Everything is fantastic. If you see that beauty, that is the crazy part of it. Crazy part of it. Because you try to make something only divine, others are not. Sin, virtue, right, wrong, good, bad, religious, irreligious. That Ekanath story you have heard, no? I was telling you other day I was reading a book, one little more extension somebody gave. It is so sweet, very beautiful twist. That Ekanath, he was this, I have told you that many times, when he was one day coming from his bath. Because he was a very nice person, religious person. There are some village, some people are also, they're trying to teach him that how to make him angry. Let him climb the tree or climb the wall, whatever it is. They want to see. This fellow is calling himself very cool, cucumber. Okay, alright, let him see to that the fellow climbs the wall. So they hired a fellow and they said, you take this money, if you can make him angry, you will get more money. So this fellow goes there, stands, and as he comes from the river, he deliberately spits into the air. So this spit falls on him. So again he goes. First time itself, other people will be volcanic eruption. There will be caste war, communal warfare and whatnot. But this man coming in and he spit. He goes for a pathway, goes back. Comes back again. Comes back again. After that his spit dries up. How much can you throw? Anyway, by the time already 108 times, the story, 107, 100, whatever, sometimes times are over. And this man said, my God, this fellow is not getting angry, not at all. And he felt so stupid. Then he knows he is a good man. He says, sir, I am really sorry. These village people, they only, sort of tempted me. If I can make you angry, they will give you so much of money. And he said, no, don't feel bad at all. I am the idiot. I always think I shall have 108 times bath in the river, but I never did it. Today, because of you, I could finish 108 times bath in the river. Thank you so much, don't feel bad. But, this is the extension. But, had you told me that they had given you money to see me angry, you should have told me. I would have pretended to be angry too. This is wisdom. Because when he is pretending to be angry, how does the village people know he is pretending to be angry or really angry? You understand that? That is why you cannot understand. As you can't see the footprint of the bird in the space, you cannot see the ways of the wise man in this universe. You can only look at his action. What he spoke, where he looked, what he did. But you can never see who he is, because you don't know who you are. When you see who you are, not that he says that I am the only one who knows, no, anybody can know it. And when you see who you are, you too shall be flying without footprints. Action you shall do, actor you shall not be. Enjoy you shall, but enjoyer you shall not be. Will you understand the line? Mother. Absolute freedom. And for whom it is? Anyone and everyone, because that is your nature, absolute. In which nothing else is existing. What are they? You want to just read out the list. What all things are not there? Cannot be there. Read, please. We had seen 1 or 2 verses last time. 4 verses over? All right, it could have been 7 also. Okay. Read the 4th verse and move on. Va prarabdhani karmani Jivan Muktirapi Kva Vatad Vaidvideha Kaivalyam Nirvishesasya Sarvada. Okay, the third one also read. Kvavidya kvacha avidya Kvam kvedam mama kvam Kvavandha kvacha va moksha Swarupasya kvarupita. Verse number 5. Kvakarta kvacha va bhokta Niskriyam spuranam kva Kvaparaksham phalam bhakve Nishvabhavasya me sada. I was having understood it. Now what Janaka says, everything as though disappears. It is more like a singing his own glory. And that happens to the glory of everybody. Because so far I was so much tormented, tortured by this idea, I am this body, I am young, I am old, I am rich, I am poor, I am hungry, I am diseased, I am dying, oh I am living now, I have so many things. Well, completely tossed up and down, tormented, tortured by all these things in life. Never understood what it is. Searching for something. Now that I found myself, suddenly the search for everything stops. And in this, what am I finding? Listen carefully. I did not. Ishwar, please see, it is so beautiful and so to the point. There are two types of things in this universe. Two types, I just only two types. Just divide it. Aham and idam. Aham means I. Idam means this. Anything that is subject to idam, anything that is subject to this. How many things are subject to this? Trillion things. This universe includes everything, no? This universe, this idam, this universe. When I say universe, in one name for all the entire planetary, terrestrial, call it whatever, stellar existence, cosmic existence, this. If you have to classify, trillions of this, all this. Physical body, this body. In this body itself, oh boy, it's another universe. Every cell is a part of it. How many this? Sense organs, 5. Perceptions, 5 types. Thoughts, 5 types, but can be trillions. Emotions, emotions can be how many types? Never ending. Never ending types of emotions. You understand? All these things, please see, that there is a perception is not a problem. That there is a perceived creation is not a problem. The whole vast universe existing is not a problem. That the body is there is not a problem. That the world is there is not a problem. That the sense organs are there is not a problem. Perception takes place, not a problem. Thoughts take place, not a problem. That you are conscious is not a problem. I thought comes up. Who owns it? I see, I hear, I touch, I taste, I smell. If the perception is conducive, I want it, I repeat it. So desire comes, anger comes, hatred comes, if you get it, greed comes, don't get, anger comes, somebody gets more, I don't get less, jealousy comes. The entire thing revolves around whom? I. Do you understand that? Do you really understand that? If you don't understand it, think. If you don't understand it, you know what will happen? You can beat around the bush. A wild goose can be chased, but these problems are insoluble. Why is it the persons with all the riches, all the intelligence, all the things, everything at their disposal, huge suffering? Only one thing. The person doesn't know one thing about himself, the I thought. Listen here. So this ignorance, other day I was thinking of, I am yet to write it down, but I will tell you out. It's very beautiful. So there are two types of ignorance. Ignorance as such, ignorance about the world, ignorance about yourself. Are you getting that? Ignorance about the world. So is ignorance about the world how many varieties? It's never ending. Are you getting that? Never ending. It is impossible. Ignorance of the self, how many types? Only one. When you know about yourself, listen carefully, when you know about yourself, who you are, suddenly the whole thing explodes. Not only know about yourself, who you are, but also you know the essence of this flower. When you know the essence of yourself, are you getting that? When you understand the meaning of the word I, Satchidananda Surupa, I am the Satchidananda, whatever consciousness. Suddenly you discover that is the truth of everybody, everything. When I say the consciousness, it happens to be in my body too. In and through my body, in and through my thought, in and through my perception. Body will not know it. My sense organs will not know it. My perceptions will not know it. My flowers, my sights, my sounds, my touches, they will not know it. The thoughts will not know it. But I am that truth. The meaning of the word I is in and through everything. This is Samanya Jnana. Samanya Jnana means same for everybody. I know, you know, even macrocosmic mind, that also can know. But there is another thing called Vishesha Jnana. Vishesha Jnana means the details which no human being can know everything in this universe about this. Because the macrocosmic universe, only total mind can know. So Ishvara Sarvagya. I know who, listen carefully, I can know who I am. I can also know what all I have. The truth of I, listen, the truth of who I am is the truth of everything that I have. No, that's the right statement. The truth of who I am is the truth of all that I have. How many things I have? Few things only. I don't know it. I know the truth of myself, I know the truth of those things. But what are the things? I don't have to know. I can't know. That is your science. Beautiful. Whereas in case of Ishvara, he knows who he is and he also knows what he has, the total mind. That is why Ishvara. Sarvagya, Sarvabhyata. Consciousness all-pervasive. In this ignorance, friends, listen carefully. As a child, when we are born, please feel beautiful. As children, when we are born, we have no choice, but somebody or other helps us in removing the ignorance of the world. We have no choice in that. We see another poo, and for no reason. It's not that that the child want to remove the ignorance of the beloved. He just sees. Everybody, what is that? He doesn't know. When he's asking, what is this? He's not asking to remove his ignorance. Is it so? No. He is just growing. Think, he is just growing up. Naturally looks at this. What is this? The sound, sight, touch, taste, smell. So many little ignorance going on. After some time, he feels so crowded. He feels he doesn't have to know anything anymore, right? Anyway, very little he knows. Think. But the more and more you know about this world, the more and more roles you pick up. Seer, listener, toucher, taster, smeller, experiencer. And each thought gives you an identity. Naturally, listen carefully, naturally everybody asks, every child has asked, what is this? What is this? What is this? No child or no man, grown-up man or woman asks, what is this I? Naturally it has never come. How many people have asked? Who am I? That there can be doubt about myself is not doubted. Nobody asks. Ask yourself. How many times you asked? I didn't ask. You asked, maybe you are an extraordinary person. Nobody. So you live with the ignorance of the I. Understand? That is why there is a resistance when somebody says you don't know about yourself. You resist. How can you say I don't know about myself? I know I am a man, I am a woman. Or like that, telling about the Swedish boy who came to study with me for 30 years back. That was the funniest story ever I heard. When he came there, he said, Swamiji, you know when I came to study this thing, what my mother said? I said, what did he say? Now India is little better. Those days what? 30, 40 years back, you know what it was. They always have mosquito disease, this, that and all that stuff. So and Sweden is very, very advanced. So when he said, no, I want to go to India, he said, why do you want to go? All places in the world, why do you want to go to India? Malaria, there is a smallpox, this, that, all the dirty water, dusty land, why do you want to go there? He said, no, I want to go there, I want to know about myself, I want to know who am I. He said, what do you want to know? You want to know who are you? You are my son. The ultimate wisdom. Huh? You are my son. What else you want to know? That's true. Think of it. How many people ask that question that they must know about themselves? Rather they get angry if you say, you must know about yourself. You mean to say, I don't know about myself? You think you know more about me than I know myself about myself? Whatever you may say, it is true, you don't know anything about yourself. You know only something which adds to your ignorance. Imagine how more educated we are, more into ignorance we are about the self. You know more about the world, you make the ignorance about yourself more and more complicated because you pick up a new role. PhD, postdoctoral. Postdoctoral means greater ignorance. Listen carefully. There is no level, it is just a figure of speech. Ultimately, whether you are a PhD or ordinary, you suffer. You mean to say PhD and the managing director suffer less than the peon or the guard in the office? Or because the guard is less knowledgeable, therefore he suffers less than the other person? Each one suffers. The roles are tremendous. You just think of it. Other day, very simple thing. Other day somebody was talking to me that how there was an Italian Prime Minister, there was a prostitution ring and all that stuff we are talking about. He said, Swamiji, it's so difficult for me when I go to a person, he's a very big man, he's a president. Even to come to you, because so many people know you, or somebody is a professor, or somebody is managing director, so difficult now to talk to me. How can these, he was using that language, how can these prostitutes, ordinary man or woman prostitute, doesn't matter, how can they be so comfortable with the prime ministers and presidents and like that? I said, you are looking at them as prime minister. She thinks he is a man, finished. He is just a man. Another person. When a thief is going to steal something from somebody's house, I'm in the president's house. I want gold. Whose house? Who cares? You understand how wise they are? Huh? No role play. But the same person can move around with a prime minister or ordinary person or celebrity, but comes back home, can't handle his wife or her husband or the children or something, cannot. Why? This is what exactly the complications in the ignorance level. One role you are comfortable with, other roles you are not. A person can rule a kingdom, can't rule an emotion. He can control thousands of people. He can control his own son or daughter, or his own little mind. That is why this ignorance about yourself must go. When you recognize who you are, and that is something universal. There will be many people who don't know anything about anything. Everybody can't be a physiologist, everybody can't be a zoologist, everybody can't be a physicist, everybody can't be a mathematician, everybody can't be engineer. There's too many things. But everybody must be aware of himself. In that, there is no choice whatsoever. When will the world understand this? Religious people are busy making people, branding them. If everybody becomes the follower of this religion, everything will be fine. Don't do that. When everybody becomes themselves, the creation will be fine. Not the follower of a truth, or a follower of a book, or a follower of a religion, or a follower of somebody. You should be yourself. There is no choice. And then, being yourself, then you do according to your society, convenience, sort of traditions, whatever it is. I am happy. You are happy. The other day I was watching this, the football game. Now this is going on American Cup, South America Cup. Colombia and Argentina this morning. Oh boy, everybody is crazy. Suppose you tell Indian football, how many people will go there? Brazil, Argentina is religion. Cricket in India, some mad people will go there, right? If I say some mad people, they say, I'm mad. How can you say cricket people are mad? True. Each one have their own little things. Therefore, that is why don't say you are superior, inferior, is useless. No. Most important thing is know about yourself. Whether you want to be a scientist, an artist, a painter, a dancer, a geologist, a zoologist, swimmer, magician. No, I don't know anything. I want to just climb the dead palm tree and make some cardi every day. That's also fine. That also is fine. Why? Because something you have to do to live your life. But be yourself. Do you really understand? It is just like, it is just like a movie. Just like a movie. The script is there. You create a script if you feel like. And you play a role. Next game, next movie, change your role. But you are the same. Understand? Like a game. What is this game? Football game is going on. Friends, live life like that. Football game. Suppose somebody stands there and goes on hitting ball to that net, will you enjoy? Scoring goal every second, 1-1. 1,000 goals in 1,000 minutes. Will you enjoy that? How long can you watch it? No. But in one ball, 22 people are running around it. And then when it goes into that, oh, the whole world erupts. What happens? This is game. You create a rule. You put a limitation on boundary. Suppose that football field is never ending. What type of game it will be? A football field never ending. Or as the sports minister said, I'm really sorry to see that 22 people are running after one ball. I shall ask the ministry to provide 21 more balls. Now 22 people running after 22 balls, what type of football game will be that? So they create a boundary. So you should do this, you should not do this, then that becomes a game. Same thing in life. You create a boundary. That is why consciousness, all pervasiveness is not a game. Body is a game. Because body has its limits. Perception has its limits. Why perception is so exciting? Sensation is so exciting. Suppose your eyes are everywhere, what type of thing it will be? Imagine your body, just imagine, your body is a huge thing. As long as that, even 5 feet, you saw that man dying now, 470 kilos. Did you see the picture of that man? It came in the newspaper. 470 kilos, this fat. 470 kilos, 33-year-old, he died. 33-year-old, 470 kilos, he died. Because he is so big, face is like this, body is here. The legs are so fat, can't even get up. Will you like to be like that? 470, suppose you are 4,700 kilo, oh boy. No. How nice it is, think of it, how nice it is. There is a limitation, there is a physical body, perception also is limited. So the game is going on. But just like a game has a role, just every player must know where he plays, who he is. Every actor can interchange the roles also. Now you know about yourself who you are. Seeing, you are a seer, hearing, you are a hearer, listening, you are a listener, touching, you are a toucher, young, you are young, old, you are old. Yet you are none of these things. Therefore, what vidya, what knowledge, what ignorance. All these things you can tell only when you are self-aware. Only when you are self-aware. You are aware of yourself as to who you are. What is there ignorance, what is knowledge? Makes no difference to you. Idam ba mama, idam kwa aham, kwa idam, what is I, what is this? This is wisdom, you leave that. What is pedagogues? You know, the scholars or the informed person? Kwa hidam, kwa aham, kwa idam, what is I, what is that? But you didn't talk it nicely. Huh? How you know talk like that? Beautiful. Please understand. Your sense of being is complete. That is why ko bandha ko moksha. What is bondage? What is liberation? Where is the bondage? What bondage? Liberation you are talking about. These conditions do not exist. So many times, who I am is not a condition. Childhood is a condition. Youth is a condition. Old age is a condition. Aging is a condition. Ageless is not a condition. Ageless is not a body, a childhood, youth, old age. Ageless is ageless. So therefore, prarabdha karma, since I am not there, prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, agami karma, jivan mukti kava, jivan mukti, what is, somebody is living liberated, what is living liberated? Meaning, you understand? Everything is dismissible. Yet, everything has a place in life. Everything has a place in life. This is, listen carefully, these verses are revelry. This is not for revealing. Revelry. I revel within myself. If you are listening to it, can you be a fellow reveler? Can you be a fellow reveler? It's like carnival. Happiness carnival, freedom carnival, wisdom carnival. Come on, let us revel in it. What prarabdha, what teaching. I am talking it, I am enjoying. What is the teaching? What is their speaking? What is their listening? So when I say, I am speaking, I am not a speaker. You are listening, you are not a listener. All are revelers. They are not beautiful. Or else, I am speaking, you are listening. So you have to, how was the speech? Not so good. How can you say like that? You know? Some of you said that, but I did not understand. I see. Very good. Did you come here to understand or be? Listen carefully. Revelry. Absolute revelry. Vatat videha kaivalyam nirvisheshaka sarvada. Videha kaivalyam. What is that? Jivan mukti, living liberated, or as long as the physical body is there. Videha kaivalya. When the body is gone, as long as body is, you are free, living liberated, jivan mukti. Videha mukti is, body falls away, there is nobody to say anything. Both one and the same. All these things. Me nirvisheshasya sarva. Me nirvisheshasya. One who is nirvishesha, one no vishesha. One who has no qualifications, no modifications, no descriptions. What conditions can you talk about? Sadame samatvam, na muktir na vandah, chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Sada samatvam, always same. Na muktir na vandah, no bondage, no liberation at any time. That is myself. The meaning of the word I. Having seen it, listen carefully. Choice is yours. Now you can be a person, choose to revel within yourself in a small hutment, in a small village, something somewhere, nothing to worry about it. Absolutely fantastic. Or you can say, I understand it, but why not try to understand what this flower is, what this water is, what this earth is, why the sun is moving. Do it. Add to the knowledge. And please understand, friends, there is no end to the relative knowledge. Absolute knowledge, Vedanta, end of knowledge. You can give that meaning to that. Once you know, you know. There is no improve upon absolute. But relative knowledge, we have not seen anything yet. We think that is explosion, nothing. We have still not crossed 100 years. There are many people are living beyond 100 years. Just wait for another 20, 30, 40 years. There shall be people who are living for 100, 200, 300 years. Definitely, no choice. Just a matter of time, man will go to moon. Just a matter of time, maybe you shall pick up in Mars. You can do something. Never-ending possibilities. Never-ending possibilities. Did anybody believe, just think of it, that open heart surgery is possible? Head transplantation already done now. What all transplantation they are taking place? And the physical, now they are creating, this morning in newspaper they have put it, they are creating an artificial intelligence which is, it will be almost like a man, living a person. And if by chance they take over, oh boy, robotic take over, because they will be perfect and will be stupid. But of course, they can never take over because the man will have the remote control. The fellow will behave too much, switch off, finish. He's out. Can never take over. Just like robots there. Why don't you think your own mind? Does your mind move according to your control or just moving by crazy like itself? If you don't know, it takes over. If you know how to use it. It's just like a robot. Artificial intelligence inside you. Why a particular thought is coming? Please explain to me. Upanishad starts that question with that. Kenopanishad. Kene sitam patati, ene sitam patati, presitam manaha, kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha. Kena ishita manam, kena ishita presitam manaham patati. Desired by whom? Commanded by whom? This mind which seems to be sent to a particular direction, destination and reaches there. Who decides? You think? Think what? Come on, think. What are you going to think? Wait. You understand? It's like a robot inside, artificial intelligence. It works. It doesn't wait for me. Which thought it brings, God knows. It comes. But there is one principle. Chakshu cha chakshu, manaso manoyat, that is the eye of the eye, that is the mind of the mind, buddhi of the buddhi. Consciousness, in whose presence it happens. In your presence it happens. Where it comes, I can't say. So it all happens in your presence. Therefore, it's up to you to acknowledge, negate, reject, use. Choice is yours. What thoughts will come, over that you have no control. How to use, you have. Work on that principle, life will be fantastic. What thoughts will come, over that you have no control. How to use? So you are very comfortably saying, yes Swami, that's right. Now can you go out little? Who will come in your life, over that you have no control. What they will say, what they will do, whether they will smile or grin or growl, whether they will grin or growl, whether they will help you or destroy you, over that you have no control. But how to face it? Yours. That is why such a person, this is the man I saw told you. Everything is fantastic, absolutely. Everything is fantastic. There is nothing other than that. Everything is fantastic. This person, whatever. If the poison comes, is sweetness in the leaf. They beg him to walk on the mud. That is diamond-studded highway. Lovely poetry, na? They make him to walk on the mud. For him it is diamond-studded highway. They put him on fire. For him it is cool water flooding. Why? He is the coolness. He is the preciousness. He is the wisdom. He is the happiness. What? I receive from this tradition, receive from the Guru, call it God's grace. Doesn't need to prove the presence of, absence of God or a Guru. I don't need to do that. Why? Because what they have done is enough. Having seen it, think, having seen it, thereafter, what is that I shall pray for God, please do this for me? One who has given you everything. Do you want object of happiness or happiness? Do you want object of freedom or, you want conditions of freedom or the freedom itself? You want object of security or security itself? when I have got the security itself, happiness itself, freedom itself, what shall I pray for again? If you are still praying for it, you don't know what it is. Understand? Therefore, whatever comes in life, Bandha, Bhakti, Karta, Kvachava, Bhokta. What is this Karta, Bhokta? Where is this enjoyer and where is the doer? Enjoying, I don't enjoy, I am not the enjoyer. Doing, I am not the doer. Niskriyam Sphuranam Kova. Niskriyasya, for Niskriyam Sphuranam Kova. What is the question of Sphuranam? There is some throbbing, some activity in me. Or Niskriyam, no activity. These are all conditions. Ko aparoksham phalam kova nishvabhasya me nishvabhavasya, for whom there is no svabha, no description of any kind, no svabha. It's not an object, it's not a quality, it is not an action, it's not a thought. That is why sit down, sit down, sit down. Be. The more you see that about yourself, who you are, the more you shall see yourself as the content of the whole universe, and nothing ever touches you. Nothing. Aparoksham phalam bhava. What is paroksha, aparoksha, direct, indirect? None of these things exist. So what all things don't exist? You want to make a list? The 20th verse is not enough, 20th chapter. Right? It can 20 million verses. You do what you want to do. Okay? Anyway, I will have to finish that. No? Yeah. You have to finish that. So read that. Kvalokam kvamumukshurva ko yogi jnanavan kva kvavaddha kvachava muttah swaswarupeha madvaye. It's two good verses. Anyway, I just tell it. We'll see tomorrow, okay? We'll see tomorrow 4-5 verses. Kva lokam kamumukshurva. What is this loka? Field of experiences. Being with yourself who you are, there is no waking, no dream, no deep sleep, no swarga, martya, patala, no heaven, no earth, no netherland. These considerations completely drop out. No more fight over it. You know, there was a very interesting thing. One gentleman, he was walking down the road. So he was going in a place where there are, just going there, and there are 4 people are standing there. So they asked him for some help. So he gave them 1 coin. When they gave them 1 coin, all the 4 beggars, they started fighting among themselves. One fellow says, we should get angur. Okay, that fellow was a Persian. He said, we should get angur. You know what angur, right? English grape. Okay? But what is in Hindi? Angur. Because it comes from Persia. In India it was not there. Okay? Angur. Okay. He said, the Arab fellow says, I want inab. And the Turkish fellow says, I want uzum. And the Greek fellow says, I want istafil. So all the 4 started fighting. The Greek, the Arab, the Turkish fellow, and the Persian fellow. All the 4 started fighting. One wants angur, other wants inab, other wants uzum, other wants istafil. This man who understands everybody's language, he said, don't fight, I'll give you what all you want, give the money back. I will give you something which will intoxicate you all. Give the money. So all the 4, whatever they wanted, grapes. 4 different names they were fighting for. Right? Same thing also. In wisdom, I have so many times you have explained it, right? Do you want object of happiness or happiness? Objects of happiness, million, billion kinds. Happiness? Objects of security, how many kinds? Objects of sensation, how many kinds? Objects of excitement, how many kinds? Thoughts of sensations, how many kinds? Emotions of many complications, complicated emotions, how many kinds? Happiness? One wants to have the emotion, other wants to get rid of it. I'm tired of love. I want to love. Have you ever seen these crazy things in the world? Watch that, read that novel, Anna Karenina, or watch the movie. You will see a beautiful contrast. One for love destroys himself, herself. Other for love, beautiful. Which one is right? Which one is right? Think. One for money, for power and prosperity, destroys himself. Other with money and power, helps everybody. Which one is, who is good? But these are relative conditions. Happiness is not a relative condition. It is yourself who you are. Therefore, it doesn't matter whoever, whatever wants. In this knowledge, you accept everybody and reject everybody. Everything has a place, everybody is useless. Kwalokam, mumukshurva. Who is these fields of experiences? Mumukshu, somebody's desire of some liberation. From whom it, to whom it belongs? Individuality. Who is desirous of liberation? Mumukshu. Who is mumukshu? Body? Your food feels indigestion? Pumpkin feels indigestion. Pumpkin is indigestion. Pumpkin is hunger. Pumpkin is fulfillment of hunger. Gold, diamond, are they precious? They feel rich. Dust, does it feel poor? Body, does it feel young or old? Thoughts, do they feel crazy or full of emotions? Nobody, either. Only I. You understand that? It is pinpoint precision. Lesser operation. I. That is why yoga, this, that, beating around the bush. You can do entertainment for the world, no problem. Do you want to be at the end of the day, in the evening of your life, will you like to say, so many things I did, but miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. Will you say that? Or shall you say, I am wide awake, doesn't matter a billion miles in front of me. Who cares? Eternity in front of me, 1 billion miles. We'll see tomorrow, okay? Just enjoy. See that. Please be that. Very important, because you are going to finish this text now. And see this more and more. Text will be over, classes will be over. You shall not be over. You are continuing. Be yourself. Close your eyes. Please keep this in mind, remember, okay? It's very important, so that always you are in a happy mood, enjoying yourself, okay? You can't study Vedanta and be, it doesn't work. Okay, see you.